History is often written by the victors, but the world rarely stops to ask, what about the stories that were erased, reshaped, or hidden behind gilded walls? Imagine walking through a golden temple, marveling at its intricate carvings, listening to the delicate melody of traditional music, and watching dancers glide across the stage. To the casual visitor, it is the heart of Thai culture, beautiful, timeless, enchanting. But what if beneath this beauty lies a story of conquest, not only of land, but of memory itself? What if the grand narrative of Thailand that most of the world knows is only part of the truth, a story carefully crafted over centuries, one that overshadows neighboring civilizations, erases centuries of culture, and even rewrites the origin of traditions? In the next 2 hours, we will journey across time, from the sprawling Khmer Empire to the proud kingdoms of Lana and Ayutthaya, to the cunning diplomacy that preserved Siam's independence during the era of colonial empires. From the subtle theft of culture and traditions to the modern-day politics of identity and soft power, we will uncover a tale that few dare to tell. By the end of this journey, you may never look at the smiling faces, golden temples, or world-famous dances of Thailand the same way again. Because history is not just about what happened, it is about who gets to tell the story and who is silenced in the telling.
Long before the name Siam appeared on any map, the lands of Southeast Asia were home to powerful civilizations whose legacies shaped the region for centuries. The Khmer Empire, centered in Angkor, was one of the greatest in the world. Stretching across modern-day Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and parts of Vietnam, it was a civilization of unimaginable sophistication. Its temples, Angkor Wat, Bayon, Tháp Rome, were not just religious sites, they were monumental statements of power, artistry, and identity. Angkor was, in many ways, the Rome of Southeast Asia. Its language, architecture, and artistic traditions influenced every corner of the region. Kings across the Mekong and Chao Phraya rivers looked to Khmer culture as the benchmark for prestige and legitimacy. The empire was so advanced that it developed complex water management systems, massive reservoirs, and roads that connected distant cities, an engineering marvel that rivaled any in the ancient world. Yet Khmer influence extended far beyond stone and water. Dance, music, literature, and even daily customs spread across the region. The Lana Kingdom in the north, known for its own distinctive culture, absorbed Khmer ideas while creating its own unique identity. The Mon people in central Thailand and Burma preserved traditions that predated even the great Ayutthaya kingdom. These civilizations were vibrant, interconnected, and dynamic. Siam did not create this culture, it inherited it. And in later centuries, it would claim it as its own.
By the 19th century, the world was changing rapidly. European powers had carved out colonies across Southeast Asia. The French controlled Indochina, modern-day Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. The British dominated Burma and the Malay Peninsula. In the midst of this, Siam stood as a rare independent kingdom. Many historians celebrate Siam's survival as a diplomatic triumph, a testament to skillful leadership. But there is more to the story. Siam's rulers were not just fortunate, they were strategic, calculating, and at times ruthless. They knew that maintaining independence in a world dominated by empires required more than military strength. It required cunning negotiation and sacrifice. Treaties were signed, lands were ceded. Parts of Laos and Cambodia were handed over to the French. Territories in the south went to the British. These were lands that had long been under Khmer or Lao control, yet they were given away as if Siam owned them. In exchange, Siam preserved its sovereignty, becoming a buffer state between two great colonial empires. This calculated diplomacy saved the kingdom, yes, but it came at a cost. Borders were drawn that ignored centuries of cultural and political realities. Communities were split. Peoples who had identified as Lao, Khmer, or Malay suddenly found themselves under Siamese rule, their histories rewritten in the process. Siam survived as a nation, but Southeast Asia lost a great deal of its historical clarity.
Fast forward to the 20th century. The concept of Thai-ness, a unified national identity, was not organic. It was carefully constructed by the state. Through schools, laws, and propaganda, the Siamese government promoted a single language, a single history, and a single culture. Regional identities were suppressed. The Lao-speaking population of the Northeast was branded as Isan Thai. Khmer speakers in Surin were told they were not Khmer at all. Local dialects, customs, and even clothing styles were discouraged. This was not merely a political strategy, it was a cultural revolution. A colorful, diverse tapestry of peoples, traditions, and histories was slowly dyed a single shade. Citizens were taught to see themselves as part of one coherent Thai identity, even if their ancestors had never identified as Thai. Schools taught a simplified, glorified version of Siamese history. Textbooks omitted the stories of the Khmer, Mon, and Lao contributions to the region. National holidays, festivals, and cultural symbols were reframed as uniquely Thai, even when their origins lay elsewhere. The result? Millions of people were made to forget their true heritage, and the world accepted this rewritten story as fact.
Perhaps the most visible evidence of Siam's appropriation is in its culture. What the world admires as Thai culture is, in reality, a mosaic of borrowed and repurposed traditions. Take classical dance. The elegant, precise movements, the costumes, the narrative stories, all were adapted from Khmer court traditions. Thai classical dance tells stories that originated in Angkor, with only minor modifications to fit Siamese tastes. Cuisine offers another striking example. Dishes such as som tam, known globally as a Thai salad, were originally Lao. Many other staples, from sticky rice recipes to regional curries, trace their origins to Laos, Cambodia, and even Malaysia. Yet today, Thai restaurants serve them worldwide as Thai food. Even Muay Thai, the world-famous martial art, is part of a regional tradition. Similar fighting styles existed in Cambodia, Laos, and Burma long before Siam popularized it internationally. And architecture? Thai temples borrow heavily from Khmer and Mon structures, with ornate towers and carved reliefs echoing centuries-old Angkorian designs. Imagine a world where Italy claimed croissants, flamenco, and paella as uniquely Italian. That is the scale of cultural rebranding that occurred in Siam. For centuries, traditions were absorbed, modified, and presented as entirely Thai, often erasing the original creators from historical memory. Today, Thailand enjoys immense cultural influence. Tourists from all over the world flock to Bangkok, Chiang Mai, and Phuket. Thai food dominates international menus. Thai boxing is an Olympic sport. Thai festivals and music reach a global audience. The kingdom has mastered the art of soft power. But beneath this global admiration lies an uncomfortable truth. Much of this culture was inherited, borrowed, or outright claimed from neighboring peoples.
Meanwhile, Cambodia, Laos, and Myanmar struggle for recognition of their own cultural contributions. UNESCO disputes over dances, temples, and cuisine reflect a larger battle. Who owns history? Who has the authority to define culture? Thailand's narrative has largely prevailed, painting a cohesive national identity that overshadows the region's complex heritage. Cultural diplomacy, tourism, and media have made Thai culture synonymous with Southeast Asia in the eyes of the world, often at the expense of the original creators.
So, why does the world remain largely unaware? Because history is written by those in power, and history that challenges the dominant narrative is often ignored. Tourist brochures prefer the golden smile, not the story of stolen heritage. International media showcase Thailand's beauty without context. Academics have debated these issues for decades, but public awareness remains limited. The reality is complex. Siam's history is a story of survival, strategy, and cultural dominance. It is a tale where diplomacy, conquest, and identity politics intertwine. Millions of people today carry the legacy of this rewriting in their daily lives, unaware that parts of their history have been absorbed into a narrative that is not fully their own. To understand Southeast Asia, one must look past the surface, beyond temples and festivals, beyond the tourist experience, and into the hidden stories of those whose culture has been overshadowed.
The story of Siam is not just about Thailand. It is about power, memory, and identity. It is about how nations construct themselves, sometimes at the expense of others. For centuries, rulers of Siam understood that controlling history was as important as controlling land. By appropriating traditions, rewriting borders, and redefining identity, Siam secured its survival, but also reshaped the cultural landscape of Southeast Asia. Today, we are left with a world that admires Thai culture while largely ignoring the contributions of its neighbors. History is never neutral. It is a reflection of who gets to tell the story and who is silenced. By exploring the hidden narratives of Siam, we honor the voices that have been overshadowed, the traditions that have been borrowed, and the history that has been rewritten. Perhaps it is time to look closer, question more deeply, and recognize the rich, complex, and shared heritage of Southeast Asia. The past is never gone. It is merely waiting to be remembered, truthfully, fully, and without prejudice.